Have you ever reached that point where no matter how hard you push, nothing seems to move? That place where effort feels invisible, where progress feels like an illusion, and you start questioning everything, your path, your dream, even yourself. And in that silence, a thought creeps in. Do I even have anything left to give? But wait, before you scroll, before you dismiss this feeling, I need you to stay with me for a moment, because what I'm about to say might be exactly what you need right now. You've been here before, haven't you? Standing right at the edge, one step away from quitting, one breath away from saying, maybe this just isn't meant for me. But here's the truth most people never realize. That exhaustion you feel, that deep, bone-level fatigue, that voice telling you to stop, it's not a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that something is about to change. Right before a breakthrough, everything intensifies. The doubts get louder. The obstacles feel heavier. The path ahead looks darker than ever. And your mind, it turns against you. It replays every failure, every rejection, every moment someone made you feel like you weren't enough. It's overwhelming. It's suffocating. But it's not random. It's not punishment. And it's definitely not life telling you to turn back. It's a test. The final resistance before transformation. Think about it. Breakthroughs don't happen when life is comfortable. They don't happen when everything is smooth and predictable. They happen when you're pushed to your absolute limit, and then you choose to take one more step anyway. Not the step you want to take, the step you believe you can't take. That step, that's the one that changes everything. Let me explain this in a way you'll never forget. A caterpillar doesn't just grow wings and fly. It enters a cocoon and dissolves completely. It breaks down into something unrecognizable, into liquid, into chaos, before it rebuilds into a butterfly. Now think about your life. That feeling like everything is falling apart, like your identity is cracking, like nothing is working anymore. What if that's not destruction? What if that's reconstruction? What if you're not losing yourself, but becoming someone entirely new? Because right now, you're in that cocoon. And I know, it feels uncomfortable. It feels like confusion, like pressure, like uncertainty. But what's actually happening? You're being reshaped. Stronger, sharper, more prepared than ever before. And here's where it gets real. Right before your breakthrough, life will ask you one final question. Are you still choosing this? Not when it's easy, not when you feel motivated, not when people are cheering you on, but when you're tired, when you're alone, when you feel like you have nothing left. That's when it matters. That's when breakthrough is decided. It's in the moments when you show up anyway, when you act, even though every emotion is telling you to stop, when you keep going, even though you don't see results, when you choose belief over proof, hope over logic, faith over your past. Those moments may feel small, they may feel invisible, but they are everything, because success doesn't come from perfection. It comes from commitment, from choosing your path over comfort, over certainty, over the temporary relief of giving up. And look at yourself for a second. Really look. You think you're barely holding on, but you're still here, still trying, still pushing, still refusing to let go. That's not weakness. That's transformation. Because the person you were a year ago, they couldn't handle what you're becoming. They would have quit already. They would have doubted themselves into staying small. But you didn't. You changed. You built resilience. You built awareness. You built strength that doesn't depend on circumstances. And now, you're ready for what's next. And here's something important. When your breakthrough comes, and it will, you won't feel ready. You won't feel confident. You won't feel like you've made it. You'll feel exactly like you do right now. Uncertain, tired, questioning everything. And that's the moment that matters most. Because that's when you'll have to say yes. Anyway, yes to the opportunity. Yes to the risk. Yes to stepping into something bigger than you feel prepared for. Because breakthrough doesn't wait for confidence. It responds to alignment, to consistency, to quiet persistence, to the version of you that kept going when no one was watching. And you've done that. Every single day you didn't quit. Every moment you forced yourself to keep moving forward. Even when it felt pointless, you proved something. Not to the world, Not to the people watching from the outside, not to the ones who doubted you. You proved it to yourself. And that quiet, unseen proof, that internal shift, that invisible strength you've been building in the dark, that's what changes everything. Because real transformation doesn't happen out loud. It doesn't happen in applause or recognition. It happens in silence, in resistance, in those moments when no one is there to push you, and you still push yourself anyway. So if you're here right now, feeling drained, like your energy has been pulled in every direction, feeling uncertain, like you're walking a path without a clear destination, wondering, deep down, if it's even worth continuing anymore, then stop for a second, pause, and really listen to this. This moment right here, it matters more than you think, because this is your sign. Not the kind of sign that promises everything will suddenly become easy. Not the kind that tells you the struggle is over. No, this is the kind of sign that tells you the truth, that you are closer than you think, closer than your doubts are letting you believe, closer than your fear is willing to admit. Because the darkness you're feeling right now, it's not failure. It's not the end of your path. It's proximity. It's what it feels like when you're standing right at the edge of something bigger than your current self can fully comprehend. And yes, it feels uncomfortable. It feels heavy. It feels confusing. It feels like pressure you didn't ask for. But that's because you're growing into something that requires more from you. You're not stuck. You're on the edge. Right there, at the threshold. And the only thing separating you from what's next is one more decision. Not a huge leap. Not some life-altering, dramatic move. Just one simple choice. A quiet one. A powerful one. Don't quit today. That's it. Just today. Take one more step. Even if it's small. Show up one more time. Even if you feel empty. Choose hope. Even when it doesn't make logical sense to do so. Because hope isn't always logical. Sometimes it's a decision you make in the absence of evidence. Sometimes it's the only thing you have left, and that's enough. That's always been enough. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need perfect clarity. You just need to keep going. And the truth is, you've already proven that you can. Think about it. All the days you wanted to stop, but didn't. All the nights you questioned everything, but still held on. All the times you felt like breaking, but somehow kept yourself together. That wasn't luck. That was strength. That was you, choosing not to give up, again and again. So now, I want you to do something different. Not what you've been doing on autopilot. Not the same patterns, the same doubts, the same hesitation. Something intentional, something conscious, something powerful. And listen carefully. This isn't for me. This isn't for validation. This isn't for anyone watching you. This is for you. For the version of you that's been fighting silently. For the version of you that refused to quit, even when it would have been easier. Right now, in this moment, I want you to claim it. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Right now. Claim this moment as yours. Write it down somewhere. Say it out loud. Yes, actually say it. Feel the words as they leave your mouth. Let them land in your chest. Let them echo in your mind. I'm not quitting. My breakthrough is already here. Pause. Take a breath. And say it again. But this time, don't say it like a wish. Don't say it like you're hoping life will magically prove it true one day. Say it like a decision. Like something has already shifted inside you. Like there's no going back to who you were before this moment. Say it like a line you're drawing in the sand. A line that says, this is where doubt stops controlling me. A line that says, this is where I choose myself. Say it like a promise. A real one. Not the kind you break when things get uncomfortable, but the kind you keep, especially when they do. Because here's what most people don't realize. The moment you truly decide, not casually, not emotionally, but deeply, internally decide, something begins to shift. It's subtle at first, almost unnoticeable, but it's real. Your mindset starts to change. The way you think about your struggles shifts. The way you interpret failure shifts. The way you see yourself shifts. then your energy begins to change. You carry yourself differently. You show up differently. There's a quiet certainty in you, even if you can't fully explain it yet. And slowly, the way you move through the world begins to change. You stop hesitating so much, not because fear disappears, but because it no longer controls your decisions. You stop negotiating with doubt. You stop having those internal arguments that always end with you holding yourself back. And most importantly, you stop entertaining the idea of giving up. It's no longer an option in your mind. It's no longer a door you can walk through. And instead, you step forward. Not perfectly, not with everything figured out, not with full confidence, but with intention, with direction, with a quiet, unshakable decision behind every step you take. And that's where things begin to change. That's where alignment starts to happen. Opportunities you didn't notice before start appearing. People who resonate with your path start showing up. Paths that once felt blocked begin to open. Not all at once, not magically overnight, but steadily, naturally, powerfully. And here's the truth. It's not because the world suddenly changed in your favor. It's because you did. You changed the way you respond. You changed the way you persist. You changed the standard you hold for yourself. And when you change that, everything around you starts to respond differently. So this time is different. This isn't another cycle of starting and stopping. This isn't another moment of motivation that fades in a few days. This is a decision. And because of that, you're not stopping, not halfway through, not when things get uncomfortable again, not when progress feels slow, not when doubt comes back knocking at your door, because it will. But this time, you won't answer it the same way. This time, you don't let it in. You acknowledge it and keep moving anyway. Because now you understand something you didn't fully understand before. You don't need to feel ready to continue. You don't need to feel confident to move forward. You just need to refuse to quit. And that's exactly what you're doing. So from this moment on, you keep going. On the hard days, on the confusing days, on the days where nothing seems to make sense, you keep going, no matter what. Because this time, you've decided. And that decision changes everything.